Good morning and welcome to the Mega Church of Joy. We are ready to start our President's Day in a way that allows us to go through the day and achieve joy. Because we know as improvisers that on the other side of fear, in every moment, is the opportunity for joy. I am so joyful myself to be with you this morning, coming live from the shores of Boca Raton, Florida, in my hot tub in the sea. They said it could not be done. They said local ordinances will prevent you from being able to do that. And I said, have you seen how little people seem to care about local ordinances these days? How bizarre that the same people who say, not in my backyard, signed up for a BIF-led future where everything is allowed in our backyard, including fracking. That's right. Well, welcome in today. It's so nice to have you on the program. You know, what else can I do? I think I can certainly live stream. I'm gonna do a little live stream right now. I'm gonna go live while people are doom scrolling. You know what I mean? Generate some business. You know? Let's do it. How do we do it? I have no idea, actually. Here we go. No. Hey, hello. Hello, viewer. Would you be so kind as to type into the chat some sort of any suggestion whatsoever, and I will improvise it into spirituality and motivation. That's right. That's what we're doing here. You are here at the Mega Church of Joy, where we, as improvisers, and we are all improvisers, we practice our relationship with fear, and we embrace fear because we know that in each moment we have the opportunity to make fear's power over us less strong. And we know that on the other side of fear's embrace is the opportunity for joy. So why don't you just type anything into the chat as a suggestion, and I will improvise it into spirituality and motivation. And then we will move on to some other topics like the daily dose, which is a little prayer you can say every day to make sure you have a great day and connect with others. And we'll also move on to gratitude, and it's going to be so much fun. So if you are here, please type into the chat any suggestion, and I will improvise it into spirituality and motivation. Did you know today is an opportunity for you to break free of the rut that you are in? For you see, the symbol of the Mega Church of Joy is an incomplete circle, a circle that breaks off just as it is about to complete itself and moves on in a new direction. Well, what happens in life is we walk the same pattern over and over again as though a circle. And as we walk those patterns of behavior over and over again, we build up walls around us. And those walls are nothing more than barriers to joy. Because what we do is we find ourselves in ruts, you see. We may walk those patterns because they make us feel safe. Ultimately, we walk those patterns because fear keeps us in those patterns. Fear is our God. Fear is in control of what we do and what we say. Fear keeps us from doing the thing. Fear guides our lives. Fear is our God. And so what do we do about that? Let me open a chat doc so I can see what on earth it is that you are saying. And I don't have, is this a restream? That's nice. What did you say? Oh my gosh, I can't even see. Oh no, this is terrible. How do I see what you're saying? Oh, good lordy. I don't have a chat doc open. What a fool, what a fool. You're saying something and it's so beautiful and so nice. Here we go. How are you? How are you? Well, hello. I'm good. How are you? Danny Jupp. Danny Jupp. I did not see the first two things you typed, and I apologize for that. But so if you could just type into the chat a suggestion of anything at all, and I will improvise it into spirituality and motivation. Thank you, red ball. Thank you, blue ball. Yellow ball, thank you. Why do we randomly thank different colored balls? Because what we understand on the Mega Church of Joy is that gratitude does not even need to be connected to anything that makes sense. All we have to do is simply express gratitude during our day, and we will be that much closer to joy. It is about an attitude of gratitude, not necessarily a specific idea of what gratitude must be. Thank you so much for being here, Danny Jupp. You are watching the Mega Church of Joy, which is a religion based on the tenets of quality improvisational comedy. In improv, we learn to accept, we learn to listen and to agree. And a world where everyone accepts and listens and agrees is a world where we are that much closer to connecting, to supporting each other, providing our energy to others, to giving, to connecting, to committing, and to being grateful. This is fantastic. Indeed it is. Now let me explain a little bit to you about the ethos of what you're watching here. So you may have come in while I was talking about fear, and fear being our God. For fear, in fact, makes all the decisions in our lives. Fear is what tells us not to do the thing. Fear is what keeps us from making the choices that we would otherwise make in life, the impulses that we have. Just as an improviser stands on the side of the stage and has an impulse to enter the scene, just as in every moment of life you are in a scene. Now, are you held back from taking a step forward by fear? Or are you willing to embrace fear, to take that step forward, and to ultimately embrace fear? For we know when we improvise that when we step onto the stage and in good faith give our energy to others and their ideas, listen and accept what people are saying, and try to find some way in which we can commit to the ideas of others, we know that we are that much closer to joy. In life, whenever you have seen someone who is feeling joy, who is acting joyfully, does it ever look like they are engaging with fear in that moment? No, because they have embraced fear, they have moved on from fear, and they have discovered on the other side of fear's embrace. In each moment is an opportunity for joy. Now, Dana GUP, if you really think this is fantastic, it would be so wonderful if you just followed, if you liked, subscribed, told 5,000 people, 5,000 of your closest friends all about what's going on here. I think that you're ready to hear the Daily Dose. The Daily Dose is a little prayer that we say, and yeah, we can call it a prayer. We are not a Judeo-Christian religion, but we can call it a prayer because guess what? We can call it anything that we want. So this is the Daily Dose. This is something that we say every day to ourselves as members of the Mega Church of Joy. And I'm just going to put it in the chat. I hope. There we go. And we can all say it together. Self, today I endeavor to be a better teammate than yesterday. I vow to step onto the stage of life, to keep it simple, to listen better, to commit harder, and to give more expertly. It is my joyous burden to make those around me appear as rock stars and to support the ideas of others. I will move past obstructions, drop insecurities, and put trust in myself and others. I will attempt to emotionally connect with whomever I meet. I say this in the spirit of best intentions. Yes, and. Allahu Akbar. Well, Allahu Akbar to you as well, Danny Gup. Now, Danny Gup, I'm coming to you, obviously, it's evident, from the shores of Boca Raton, Florida, my hot tub by the sea. And I'll tell you what, before I founded the Mega Church of Joy, I was at rock bottom. I was selling seashells by the seashore to support my video game addiction. My dog had left me. My wife ran away. And I had little hope of achieving my dream of owning 2 jet skis. Hey, Monkey Go, you are in the religion simply by being here. For we are all on a mega team together. We are all improvisers whether we know it or not. For in every moment of your life, you are in a scene, just as the improviser in a theater is in a scene. That scene may be with your family, with your coworkers, with your friends. And in every single one of those scenes, you have choices that you can make. The God of this religion. Sir, you the God of this religion. Well, actually, in fact, fear is the God of this religion. For fear is in control of all of our choices in life. Now, would one of you type something that you're afraid of into the chat? A real fear. I mean, it doesn't have to be, I guess, if you're still feeling cheeky and you think this is all just one big joke and you think I sit in this hot tub in the sea just for your amusement. Can I revive your dead dog? I don't think that I can. We could simulate the revival of your dead dog, and that might give you some sense of relief. Women, you're afraid of women. Well, what I would say, Dana GUP, is that if you're afraid of women, you should talk to a woman, and you should say, I am afraid of women. For when you speak to your fear, you make it less strong. When we name our fears, we expose fear, because fear is nothing more than a playground bully. In fact, what we believe and understand in the Mega Church of Joy is that fear is nothing but a dick. And what's the number one rule of the Mega Church of Joy? Say it with me. Say it with me, everyone. Don't be a dick. And if we apply the principles of the Mega Church of Joy in our lives, in every scene, we lessen fear's control over our path. Yes, Danny. Yes, Danny Gup. Okay, well look. You may love dick, but nobody loves a dick, right? But the thing is that we do love a dick. We love fear because once we get to have a quality relationship with fear, once we learn to walk over to fear and approach fear and sit down next to fear, bring fear besides us, because fear is scared himself. And yes, of course, fear is a man. Fear is scared himself. And so when we open ourselves up to fear, and when we accept fear, we lessen his power over us. Danny Gupp, that looks like someone who's climaxing. I don't really know what that is. That's a picture of. Now, if one of you would just improvise, here we go. Now, if one of you would just, I am anything but serious, friend, but what I am serious is about the experience of joy. Now, if one of you would just type into the chat something, anything, a suggestion. Maybe you've never seen an improv show before, but we're doing it right now. So if you could just type into the chat a suggestion of anything at all, I will improvise it into spirituality and motivation. And of course, you can, while I wait for that to happen, you can always look forward to the other great programming from the Public Enlightenment Network. For of course, we have tonight at 9, the Public Enlightenment Show, where we provide the context for all of us to understand our news. Isn't that beautiful? Can you show us how to get a girlfriend? All right, I'll take that as the suggestion. How do we get a girlfriend? Now, in life, society tries to put importance for us on having a relationship. And as improvisers, we know the power and the beauty of relationships. And as improvisers, we understand that perhaps the pressures that others put on us to have a romantic relationship, to have a girlfriend, could be driven by a societal fear over all. And I love you, a societal fear over all. For you see, that societal fear could be sociological. If we stop having babies, if we stop encouraging our young people to get in bed with each other, perhaps there will be no more young people. Perhaps there will be no more humanity. And there is nothing better for humanity than more babies. But you see, there will always be people who are horny. There will always be people who are inclined to get into bed together and to make babies, whether they want to or not. One of the universe's great designs is the fact that even though we now know how people get pregnant, we've moved on from our primordial stage and we understand how people get pregnant, we still just randomly get pregnant when we don't want to. So there will always be babies. So my first question to all of you gathered here today is, do you feel the pressure to have a girlfriend? Because I believe that once you relieve yourself of that pressure that is brought to you by the outside world, once you start to drop your ego, start to listen and agree with the people who are in scenes with you, once you start to listen to a woman, once you start to accept a woman, once you start to give your energy in good faith to a woman, once you commit yourself to engaging with a woman, once you give a woman the gift of your time, once you give a woman the gift of your connection, once you give a woman the gift of your gratitude, and once you offer to her support. You know, maybe the best way to get a girlfriend is you know someone that you have a crush on and she's moving, and you say, hey, you know what? I know it's so expensive to hire a mover. Maybe I could help you. Or you say, hey, I know that you have been having some problems with your lawn. Maybe I could help you with your lawn. Or, hey, you know what? I think that you're a very interesting person and I would love to get to know you better. I don't know if I'm cool or not. I don't know if I'm good or not. All I know is this one feeling that I have. this one feeling of attraction to you, and if it's okay, because of course I cannot expect the other person to also be attracted to me, but you just have to shoot your shot. You just have to feel the energy inside you, and with respect to others and their autonomy, you have to say, hey, I like you. Maybe we could go for a cup of coffee. Do you know what my father used to do? My father told me when I was going off to college, he said, son, what I did is we had a Facebook. Facebook is based on a real thing that used to exist at colleges and universities in America, which was a book that's kind of like a yearbook, except without all of the, superlatives and everything like that. It's just a picture of everyone's friggin' face. Okay? And my father would look through and he would look at the pictures. He would find girls he thought were cute and he would call them. And he would say, would you like to get a cup of coffee? That is what my father did. That sounds insane, but it was non-confrontational. It was, just someone calling someone on a phone. So if with respect, we engage with the energy that tells us, golly gosh, that lady is real swell. I think she's really cool, Seaman. The energy in my body is telling me that I would like to go out with her. The energy in my body is telling me that I would like to pursue getting to know that young lady better. Maybe having her be my girlfriend. Well, then what you do is you embrace the fear. And on the other side of fear's embrace, as you're holding on to that fear and your chin is resting on fear's shoulder, do you know what you see out in the future? You see the joy of finally having that girlfriend that you were so interested in having. And of course, we don't want to just have a girlfriend for having a girlfriend's sake. We want to have a girlfriend because that person's energy vibes with our energy. Because that person meets us every day in good faith and says, I accept you, I support you, I commit to you, I connect to you, I give to you, and I am grateful for you. Yes, and. Did you know one of the greatest joys we can have in life is making others look like rock stars? How will you make someone else look like a rock star today? Will you compliment someone? Will you, like in an 80s movie, do all of the work for the big meeting that someone has, and then they can take the credit and you can go because you want to support that person? Can you recognize the skills and abilities in anyone that you see and compliment them? You say, Bob, you are so unique. You say, Carl, you are beautiful. You say, Daisy, your smile is like a ray of sunshine. But of course you don't say you should smile more, because come on now. I know they're trying to claw back me too, but we compliment people. We don't tell them how to be. We accept them as they are being already. To make someone feel like a rock star, you might say, you have excellent taste in late 70s prog rock. You might say, I love the way that you just interacted with that person at the store. When you approach another person in the scene of life that you are in with the idea that you want to make them look like a rock star, the energy that they perceive and receive from you will be returned to you by that person. Maybe not immediately, they might be caught off guard. We're not used to it in our society, trying to make people look like rock stars all the time, but by golly, we should be. I can think of no better motivation for being in a space with other people and trying to make them look great. Maybe you're online. Here we are. We're in Twitch. Maybe you're playing a video game and you're in a social situation. And you say, hey, buddy, look, I know you missed the kill shot, but you tried. And I think if you keep trying, you're going to be great at shooting fake cartoon video game people through the head with the bullet of some kind of fake video game gun. We're here for that. How are you going to give thanks today? When we go through our day full of gratitude, we can find that our bodies are absolutely buzzing. In fact, if you're here, I'd like you to type into the chat something that you're thankful for. I'll tell you that today I am thankful for this computer, which allows me to beam my live broadcast directly from Boca Raton across the world. Look at me, I'm sitting here on a beach in Boca Raton, Florida, inside a hot tub that is somehow combined with the sea. Reminds me of a hot spring that I was in once in Big Bend National Park in Texas, where the Rio Grande is hard to separate from the hot spring tub that you are in. Big Nick's world is thankful for hot tub life, and oh my goodness, is there any better kind of life? You may see sometimes if you're driving in a brackish area of the country, like maybe the eastern shore of Maryland, you may see salt life. But I'll tell you what, brother, there's no better life than hot tub life. Hot tub life means vibes of relaxation. Hot tub life means maybe if you're so inclined, someone's going to toss you a cold one from 10 feet away, and you're going to catch it, you're going to snap that top, and you're going to slam a brew. Hot tub life means people are in their bathing suits. Hot tub life means everyone's toes are exposed. Hot tub life means maybe you have fungus on your toes, and you can't wait to get into that water to hide your shame. Hot tub life means so many things, and we are so grateful for it today. How about someone else types into the chat something that they are grateful for? Because we are practicing gratitude, because we know that when we go through our day, taking moments to appreciate the scene that we are in, even if it is a hellscape of a scene. Maybe it's our job and we do not like our job. But guess what? If we do not like our job, is the thing to do to remain stuck in a rut of fear and anxiety and joyless interaction? No. Absolutely not. Every single moment is an opportunity to be grateful. I'm grateful for those of you who are here today, and I so do wish that you would follow the Public Enlightenment suite of programming. For it is not just the Mega Church of Joy that we offer. We also care about the world and the information that is delivered for us. So tonight at 9 p.m., we will be live streaming the Public Enlightenment Show. Now, I see that there are some folks in here and they are not putting into the chat what they're thankful for, and I'm not going to call that a mistake, but even if it was, it's okay to make mistakes. In improv, we make mistakes all the time. And what we learn and what we train ourselves to do is to accept those mistakes, to view those mistakes as a gift that the universe has given us, to incorporate those mistakes into our lives and into the scene that we are in. Just as when we make mistakes in life, we do not feel shame, but instead we view them as an opportunity. I do love coffee. and I'm grateful for it. Now, I see that there are 3 of you here in the chat. No one is typing what they're thankful for, and that's okay. I'm thankful for your fear because it allows me to talk about fear. When we are learning improvisational comedy, we come to understand that by embracing fear, we can truly then discover joy. Or we are afraid when we are in our first improv class. We are looking around, there's some guy from a banking job, there's some lady who's like maybe an artist, and there's a bunch of strangers. And we are asked to step out and have an idea and then say stuff and pretend as adults to play with others. That's insane. That's scary as hell. But what we realize is that when we're improvising, we are actually practicing our relationship with fear. And so once we extend that lens outside of improvisational comedy to understand in the Megachurch of Joy that the key to life is understanding our relationship with fear. That fear is in fact our God. That fear keeps us on the sidelines of life. Fear keeps us in the ruts that we've created for ourselves. When we realize that, when we realize that we can daily work on our relationship with fear, we are that much closer to joy. Fear is the prison, Nick. And what we know on the Megachurch of Joy, what you and I know, is that fear is nothing more than a dick. And the number 1 rule of the Megachurch of Joy is don't be a dick. When we name our fear becomes less powerful. Just like when we expose the playground bully, we let them know that, hey, we know you're scared. We deplete their power. Today we will name our fears and we will feel better. So please type a fear into the chat. Together we'll feel better about your fear. While we wait for someone to type their fear into the chat, we'll talk about the gift of listening. I encourage you to listen. It's early enough in the day that surely you'll have some human interaction at some point today. And oftentimes we find ourselves in life in conversations where someone is talking to us, but we may be thinking about how we can reply. We may be thinking about how we should reply. We may be thinking about how what they're saying affects us. And we may find that we are actually, in fact, not listening at all. And that is where the power of yes and comes in. Because when we are listening without judgment, when we are listening purely, all we are doing is waiting for that person to finish a sentence or an idea, and we say yes. We say yes and I support you. We say yes and I give to you my energy. We say yes and I commit to hearing your words. And we say yes and I am grateful for hearing them. Yes, and when we engage with other people, when we give them the gift of listening, one of our great joys is that it costs us nothing. The gift of listening does not cost anything. It is merely the act of one energy receiving the energy of another, without judgment, without fear. Hey, did you know all we are sacks of energy? Light beams from the sky, and we catch it by eating or drinking. We are literally just energy from the sun. That's our whole deal. We may think, I'm Rev Deuce. You may think you're Big Nick. But actually, you are just a corporeal form of the sun's energy. Yes, we are good vibe machines. You and me, Nick, and whoever else may happen to be here. These two cheeky buggers who are watching on YouTube that they're not speaking. And that's okay. We love them still. We support them still. We are grateful for them. And we will commit to continuing to be engaging in the megachurch of joy. But all we are sacks of energy, which means that we know as improvisers, as we all here are, everyone watching is an improviser. Every conversation you have is improvisation. The path of your life is improvisational. But what we know when we understand that all we are sacks of energy is that we are in control of our energy. Now, when I start an improv scene, I may step out and I may say to myself, okay, I'm going to be a high-priced lawyer, and so I'm going to have an attitude that's serious but also a little cunning, and that's going to be my energy, and that's what I choose. Or I could step out and I could say, you know what, I'm going to be the lowly maid, and so I'm going to have a subservient energy, but also maybe I have pride in myself. Maybe I have great pride in the work that I do, and that's my energy, and I bring that into the scene. And in every moment of life, we are in a scene with our friends, with our coworkers, with our neighbors, with our family, with ourselves. And in every moment, we have the ability to check in with our energy and to be in control of our energy. Yes, we are just big old fleshy sacks of energy. Light beams from the sky, and we catch it by eating or drinking. That's all the only way it works. It doesn't work any other way. You would cease to exist if you stopped taking in the sun's energy via celery and Cheetos, via Dr. Pepper and Diet Coke. So we are grateful for Cheetos and celery and Diet Coke and Dr. Pepper. What else are you grateful for? Type it into the chat. And look, we could even do one more sermon. So if you wanted to type into the chat a suggestion of anything at all, you could type suggestion : and then enter the suggestion. And I will improvise that into spirituality and motivation. For those of you who have just joined us, you are attending the Mega Church of Joy. The Mega Church of Joy happens every Monday through Friday, currently at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, but generally I do not have many followers or attendees. So I'm trying to tinker with that, and maybe you could type into the chat what's a good time for you. I was thinking maybe 7:30 a.m. Before you go to work, you could just plug in the internet machine and you could turn it on and then turn it off the second it's over, because these internet machines are killing us. They're destroying our brains. They're feeding us toxic disinformation at all times, except for the Mega Church of Joy. I'm grateful that ice floats on water. Isn't that beautiful? Ice floating on water. A relationship based on physics, which, if we really think about it, all relationships are based on physics, because information is physical. And so when we tell someone, I am your friend, where are the TPS reports, Karen? That's a relationship with a coworker I just alluded to. And when you have a relationship with a coworker, a friend, a neighbor, anyone, that is physics. Now, it may not be a solid resting on a liquid, but perhaps it is two liquids mushing up against each other, just like two giant energy sac humans might make love. Now let's see, seems like a thoughtful comment. Thankful for this quiet, momentary escape from the current world hellscape. Okay, I could take that in a few directions. In fact, I could just have us all meditate right now. But here's what I'll do. I will lean into the quiet. I will get more ASMR-y. And I will talk about the hellscape in a way that makes us feel empowered. When we wake up in the day, we may currently be full of fear. There are forces acting in the world that themselves are guided by fear. We do not know what creates the authoritarian other than fear. We have all heard the phrase, hurt people, hurt people. We know that we are guided by patterns that have been passed down for generations. Patterns of guilt, of shame, of anger, and of judgment. That parents sometimes simply cannot help but pass on to their children. Shoot, before we are even 3 years old in this Judeo-Christian nation, we are learning about violent acts. We are learning about a man who was so reviled that he was nailed to a cross, that nails were driven through his hands so that he might die of waste and starvation. We learn these cruel things even through a guise of some sort of religiosity. But really all that is happening is the moment we are born into a world of judgment, of fear, and of hate. And it is very hard to push back against that. But we can, and we must. For a hellscape is nothing more than a creation of fear. And we know that fear, in fact, is our God. Fear of the unknown keeps us from doing the thing. Even if we believe that we have a project in mind that is so cool, that we are so excited to pursue, we may say, you know what though, I don't know what's going to happen with that idea. I do not have a guarantee of success with that idea. So therefore I might as well not pursue it. And when we behave that way, we are acting as fear's agent. For you see, fear's goal is to infect all of us with his hate and judgment. Fear's goal is to keep all of us from understanding that we are pure beings of love and joy and support. Fear's entire program is to make us like him, but we will not be like him. No, we will push back with our energy, with our support, with our commitment, with our giving, with our connection, and with our gratitude for one another, and our gratitude of the knowledge that we do not have to live in a hellscape, and every single scene in which we are at any moment does not have to conform to the contours of the hellscape that has been made and sustained for us by those who have never decided that they can have a better relationship with fear, by those who have yet to understand the blessings of the megachurch of joy and to know that on the other side of fear's embrace, there is the opportunity for joy. On the other side of fear's embrace, there is the opportunity for love. Because fear is nothing more than a playground bully. Fear is nothing more than a giant dickhead. And the number one rule of the mega team of joy is do not, never, not once, even if you feel the impulse, be a dick. And so what do we do in the face of that hellscape? We decide that we will play to the top of our intelligence. That we have the power, the great blessing, the great joy to understand our relationship with fear, to practice every day our relationship with fear, to say, fear, I will no longer keep you. Sorry, one more time. To say, fear, I will no longer allow you to keep me from doing the thing. Each one of us sitting there watching this program right now at home has a thing that we want to do, something in life. Maybe it's a dream we've held for a long time. Maybe it's a vacation we want to take. Maybe it's a class that we have always thought we should do. Maybe it's a skill that we wanted to learn. Or we've said, is it worth the time? I don't know. We've talked ourselves out of things that would bring us joy because fear has talked us out of those things. And the improviser knows that it is not easy to embrace fear, but it is so absolutely worth it. And all it takes is that first step. All it takes is taking one first step off the sidelines of life. Or as an improviser, we stand on the sidelines in the theater, a blank slate, only a suggestion to then create an entire world. And that is a daunting prospect. It's a daunting prospect when you first start out. But as you practice your relationship with fear, you learn that the best way to confront fear is to take that first step. And it is a step of faith. It is a step of faith in yourself, knowing that you have skills that you did not even know you had. And that first skill, the easiest one, but also the hardest, is to take that first step, to do the thing, to for one moment in your life, shut out fear's voice and say, I'm going to do this thing. And then you step out and, oh my God, maybe the fears rush in, but you're there, you're in it, and you have to rely on yourself. Living life according to the tenets of quality improv means living life in a way where you build up a strong and successful and positive relationship with fear. It does not mean fear goes away. It does not mean fear is vanquished forever. For in fact, the great tension in life is the push and pull between fear and joy. And what we do as improvisers in the Mega Church of Joy, and we all are improvisers, yes, you listening right now, for what we do is we practice that relationship with fear every day. And we get stronger. Now, I was afraid to do this. You know, what if I go to get a job and they look me up online and they say, man, you're crazy. What are you doing? You're doing a show where you put on a southern accent and you sit in a hot tub in you say you're in Boca Raton, Florida? We do not want you to be our chief information officer. Big Nick's world, holy crap. Oh my God, Big Nick, fear is the gym of the soul. Yes, thank you. Yes, and. Yes, and. Fear is the gym of the soul. That's going into my show notes. Fear is the gym of the soul. Fear is the Pilates of the spirit. Fear is the... What's the one where everyone lifts things and runs around with them over their head? Do WODs, workout of the day. What is it called? Why do I not remember it right now? What is it called? Why do I not remember it right now? CrossFit. Fear is the CrossFit of our minds? I don't know. We can work on that. Okay, well, look, I've got to prepare for the show at 9 p.m. tonight. I do this every Monday through Friday, and of course you can watch it on video on demand after I publish them. But so please tell your friends about this. It is so wonderful to have seen these wonderful comments. I don't need therapy anymore. This is it. Brandon Bryant, that is right. Look, you can come here every morning. This show is usually just a half hour, but I got so excited to finally have some attendees, some members. You are all members on the mega team of joy. We are all on that team together in life. I am Rev Deuce. This is but one show in the suite of programming brought to you by the Public Enlightenment Station. Tonight at 9 p.m., we will have a different show called the Public Enlightenment Show, where we enlighten the public by providing the context to understand our news. For you see, one of the ways that we are in a hellscape right now is because our information ecosystem is a commercialized system, and the commercialized system for informing the public will never actually do a proper job of informing the public. So we learn about that. We can do that at 9 p.m. tonight. I've been preparing an intro. It's all very exciting. And then, of course, there will be another show in the very near future called Drinking Alone with Brian Hansberry. And that show will probably be at 5 p.m. Eastern on certain weekdays. And that show will just be stupid, and I'll drink beer and do dumb bits. Isn't that fun? I'm so encouraged and grateful for all of you. Mo, amazing. So Mo, here's what I will promise to you, is that for the time being, the show will continue to be at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. I would love suggestions of a better time, but I in fact do not know one. I believe that this show is best at the beginning of the day so that then you can go out and practice. You can practice giving gifts to other people. You can practice listening and accepting. Just one more comment on accepting. You know, in improv, we may step out and we may say, I am a baker and I am in the middle of making croissant for my customers who will be arriving shortly. And that's our energy to start a scene. But then someone steps out and they say, hey, Spaghetti Monster, did you remember to mail the check? And you may say, God damn it, I do not want to be a fucking spaghetti monster and pretend to be a spaghetti monster in front of these 30 strangers in a theater in New York City. God damn it. But guess what? The improviser says, you know what? This is what's in front of me. This is what I have to work with. I have to accept it. I have to commit to the reality that's happening right now. And I have to move forward. And so I have to give a gift back to that person who gave me a really shitty gift. And that's what we do in life, and that's how we achieve joy. That's how we live with a joyful mindset. 7 a.m. works better for me, or at night, but you do you. Now, Mo, do I know you personally? Because if I don't, that's amazing. I love that so much. 7 a.m. works for Mo. Okay, well, maybe we'll think about it. For right now, maybe for this week, we keep it at 9, because what I've learned by engaging with the internet is that the success of a streamer depends largely on consistency. And I want to be successful because I want to buy my fiance beautiful things. and support her. And I can only support her by building a global religion based on the tenets of quality improvisationals and comedy. I just did not know how to say the word there. Do not fear, I am not having a stroke, but I am relaxing in a beautiful hot tub. Okay, I have so much work to do to get ready for the show tonight. If I will see you tonight at 9 p.m., that would be absolutely amazing. I've been practicing the Public Enlightenment show for the last few weeks, and we're going to kick it off and hopefully be able to contextualize the news for you so you understand better what's going on in our world, because increasingly our commercialized system for informing the public does not provide context. But that's it. We're going to change the world. This is your antidote to the bro media industrial complex that is so full of hate and judgment, and disinformation and bullshit, and the ideas of billionaires who hate us. Don't get me started. I'm going to go off on Joe Rogan hosting Mark Andreessen, and Mark Andreessen telling us all that that people are debanked because they have the wrong politics. That's lies. And those lies are driven by fear. And Mark Andreessen is doing the best he can with what he has. Seemingly, what he has is billions of dollars and a deep need for therapy. And that's okay. We should work to get him that therapy, as he is on a path of domination and control and corruption. We want to help him. But I digress. So we'll see you at 9 p.m. tonight. We might see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. That would be beautiful. I will be sure to try to post this later so that you can share it. And of course, there's older episodes, and maybe some of them are good and some of them are bad, and that's just the way that the world goes. And so we will end by making the symbol of the mega team of improv. The symbol is an unclosed circle. Or what we do in life, just as we do in the improv stage, is we stay in the same pattern for too long. And that pattern becomes weary. And that pattern depresses us. And that pattern keeps us from breaking free into a new scene, following fear on a path to a new reality. For what we do in life is we walk in the same patterns. We stick in the same ruts. And as we walk those same patterns, we build up walls around us, walls that keep us from connecting with others, walls that keep us from doing the thing. Those walls are built by fear for us. And on the Mega Church of Joy, we know that in every scene, we do have the opportunity, if we want to take it, to break free. And pursue joy. I love you, you love me, we're a happy family. I'll see you on the next one. This is Rev Deuce signing off, saying I love you all so much. I'm so grateful for you. How can you practice gratitude throughout the day? Follow the fear. Bye-bye. Be sure to like and subscribe. Give me your firstborn child. I don't know how to end the stream. Perfect ending, ruined. I literally, oh, there's the stop streaming button. I love you. Bye-bye. Yes, have an enlightened day. And please go to publicenlightenment.com, where you can learn about our information ecosystem so that we can all live in a world where we're better informed and everyone has the opportunity for a better outcome. Thank you so much.